Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you are new here. I recently put out this video and you guys absolutely loved it. Today I'm going to tell you some ways that I've implemented using these keywords and recommended specifics, a few more tips, things that you guys brought up in the comments. We're going to talk about what's working, what's not working, and what's sold. Alrighty. Before we get into today's video, can I just tell you guys that we are a little over 1,000 subscribers from me giving away this amazing vintage Louis Vuitton wallet, like a Louis Vuitton wallet. It's going to be given away to a subscriber as soon as we hit 20,000 subscribers, and we are so close. It's because of you guys. So like the video, share the video, comment on the video. All of those things help tell YouTube that you like this content. Other resellers may like this content and be able to glean some type of information to further their own reselling career. So thank you so much. And as a thank you, as soon as we hit 20K, someone's getting a Louis Vuitton. So the video that I released recently, this eBay hack will change the way you list forever. Of the 390 comments on that video, only 2 of them were negative. That tells me that we all learned something through the research of that video. So thank you so much to everyone that liked and appreciated the research and the time and effort it took to make that video. As soon as I released that video, I started implementing those techniques right away. The first thing I tried it on was a new listing of a Food Fighter Lieutenant Leg toy. This toy was so tiny. He was about this big. I actually found him in a lot of mainly Happy Meal and Kids Meal toys that I bought at an auction. I've been selling these off on Whatnot. I brought him to Whatnot for $20. Nobody wanted him there for $20. It is my experience that unless you are in front of the right collector, people want to bargain on Whatnot. I knew I'd be able to sell him for more than $20 on eBay, so that's exactly where I took him. The problem was there were about 22, 24 maybe other ones listed at the same time. Some of them were in better condition, some of them were in the package. Many of them were only listed around that $20 mark. I knew I wanted a little bit more. I wanted to squeeze out as much as I could. I didn't mind to sit and wait for some of the others to sell, and I went ahead and listed this guy at $24.95 plus $4 shipping. I started implementing those recommended item specific keywords right away. Let me tell you where I plugged in some keywords and what those keywords were. Some of the keywords that I knew people would be searching for would be Food Fighters, Lieutenant Leg, possibly Mattel, and I even wrote chicken leg because, like, what if someone was thinking about that chicken leg action figure they had as a kid, but they didn't remember that his name was Lieutenant Leg, and Lieutenant Leg is spelled with 2 G's. So I was sure in the title to include chicken leg also. But in those recommended item specifics, I hid Lieutenant under character, Food Fighters under franchise. I have Mattel as the brand. Under sport, I wrote Food Fighter. I hid that keyword under sport. I didn't have anything to write under model, so I wrote Lieutenant Leg. Under theme, it says Food Fighter Lieutenant Leg. And under featured person or artist, again, I wrote Lieutenant Leg. Guys, anywhere I could possibly put Food Fighter or Lieutenant Leg, it was there. And out of 24 items that were listed, mine sold within 20 hours. It was not even a full 20 hours this thing sold for full price. It was the first item that I actually tried, the new listing hack that I told you about in the last video, and it sold within 24 hours. I hid those keywords everywhere in the recommended specifics. One of the biggest questions that I got asked in the comments, and possibly you had this question as well, Rachel, I am not finding recommended item specifics. And I do most all of my work from my cell phone. If it's not an app, that's why I use Vindu, guys. So I didn't realize that when you pull up a listing to revise it on your computer, it does not show recommended specifics. If you pull up a listing to revise it on your cell phone, then you get those required, recommended, and additional specifics. So if you were having trouble and you searched several different categories, and like one person said they tried 10 different categories and never did they see anything other than required and additional, I think if you are searching for those recommended specifics, search on your cell phone, especially when you are revising an existing listing. That is so important. I would have told you guys that in the last video had I known it. I just never list from the computer. You guys aren't gonna believe the next sold item, guys. I sold the Gentacular Jello mold. I loved seeing this word integrated into resellers' vocabulary throughout the week. People were tagging me on their Instagram stories, Gentacular. I hope that you've worked it into a sentence since the last video. The buyer for the Jello mold certainly did. The note from the buyer says, "Thank you so much for the Gentacular Jello mold. Loved the video and wanted to say thank you for all the time and effort you put into the video and research. I sell on eBay eBay under Vegas Thrift 702. Subscribe to your channel and I look forward to seeing more of your videos. This one is definitely one of the most useful so far. Oh my gosh, Vegas Thrift, you're a rock star. Thank you so much, and I hope that you love the Gentacular Jello mold. Just last night I opened the eBay app and I revised about 20 listings. Any item specifics that were recommended, I'm plugging something in there, especially my keywords, and this one is sold within 12 hours. It's a Kung Fu Iron Fist magazine, and here's where I hid certain keywords. Under series, I wrote Deadly Hands Kung Fu. Publication name, I wrote Kung Fu. Features, I wrote Iron Fist and Kung Fu. And under topic, I wrote Kung Fu. I immediately got an offer on this and I accepted. Guys, this thing has been listed at least 2 years without ever receiving a single offer on it. I changed it with the recommended item specific keyword hack from the last video, and within 12 hours, guys, from 2 years of never getting an offer, within 12 hours I got an offer. If you've seen similar success, and I know some of you have because you've been sending me things over on Instagram and commenting here on YouTube, let me know how you're implementing this new keyword hack and how your items are selling that otherwise were just stagnant before. Those are, again, just a few examples of using that new keyword hack, but I want to show you guys some other items that sold, and if there are really interesting keywords in the title, I'll break that down for you too. This first item is a vintage pair of olive green day gloves, wrist short ladies soft light. That is my title on that. These sold for $28.99 plus $4 shipping. They are not winter gloves. They are day gloves, not quite driving gloves because they don't have like leather grips or anything to grip a steering wheel. If you have that leather grip on the palm, those are driving gloves. These are simply day gloves. This next sale is so epic. This sold to a viewer too, and you are going to fall in love with this story. So do you remember a couple videos ago, I showed you guys some dolls, some really creepy dolls, and I said, should I keyword these creepy for Halloween? A viewer reached out. You're not gonna believe this story. This is so good, you guys. This is 100% why we save the vintage. Listen up. Hi Rachel, this is Shelly, Nana's Nickel. I sent you an offer on the cloth dolls you have. I seen them in your video and was blown away. I only want the one with blue eyes. It is the exact doll pattern my mom made my sister and I for Christmas one year. I believe 1980. Mine had brown eyes and a little different mouth, but otherwise exactly the same. It was my favorite toy in the whole world, and I'm bawling my eyes out right now. When I grew up and left the doll behind, she got chewed up by a dog. My mom passed away in 2012, and I never thought I'd see April again. The doll's name is April. Thank you for everything you do. You are anointed. Please keep the other one and sell it to someone else looking for him. Vintage doll, cloth, handmade, hand sewn, embroidered eyes. Just a tip for the title. I'm going to make her eyes brown like my April. Oh my gosh, are you serious? This is one of my favorite sales of all time. I absolutely love this story. Here's the doll, and I sold her, I wanted $30 for the pair, and Shelly only wanted one, so I sold her the one doll for $15 plus $10 shipping. I love to source vintage linens, especially like vintage romantic satin linens, and this bedspread and 2 pillowcases, I had it listed at $189, but it's been listed for a while. I got an offer recently on a very slow sales day. If your store is anything like mine, the offers and the threshold at which I will accept an offer depends on how many sales I'm getting that day. Guys, the offer was almost half price. It was $100 plus shipping. I accepted the offer, and that was like 5 days ago, and the buyer has still not paid. So my question is, if last year at eBay Open, eBay announced automatic payments are coming soon, and I understand this year they announced that it's here, why do I still have these sales where the buyer is making an offer, I accept, the item sits there? There's a lot lost in a situation like this. You don't just relist the item because you lose all of the watchers on the item, anyone that you would have been able to make an offer to. That's gone because it's a new listing, but you do get the perks of it being a new listing. And refuse to just give us the automatic payment that brand new baby apps, like in their infancy, reseller apps have the technology and the ability to do automatic payments, but a beast like eBay, who's been around for decades, can't quite get this under control. We're definitely not going to rant about it, so I'll leave it there. I sold this, but I don't think the buyer's ever going to pay. Here's another one of my favorite sales because this is from my son, my 17-year-old list over on my eBay. He sells on my Whatnot as well. I found like 15 of these Range Rover shell key fobs. So none of the mechanics is actually in here. These sell on Amazon for like $32. He listed them for $15.99 with free shipping because he has 15 of them. They're taking up space, not too much space, but there's a whole box of them, and one of them just sold. He is less than a penny into these because these came from our Amazon bin store on $10 fill a bag day. I love it when I'm able to get him car parts, or most recently I got 2 huge boxes, probably 20 Apple watch bands that he's gonna be able to list, and paying $10 for like 200 watch bands. I just love to see these sales rolling in for him on valve stem caps and key fobs and watch bands because it's gas money for that 17-year-old. Here's an old picture that I sold. I love to sell old photos. If you've been around the channel any amount of time, you know that I love it. This is another square one. My keywords here were vintage, original, found photo. Guys, that goes for almost every photo that you can list. Also, the word snapshot is a great keyword. Vintage, original, found photo, woman, 70s, party, ice bucket, drinking, kitchen, New Year's. So just cover the subject. You don't have to use words like in, like I didn't need to say woman in the kitchen. In and the would be just a waste of keyword characters. Just describe the photo as best you can in 80 characters, and this one just sold for $9.99 with free shipping. Those may seem like small sales, but if you have a box of like 200 photos, imagine getting $9.99 with free shipping for every single one of them. They are so easy to list. Here's another one of Delo's sales. These were infinity valve stem caps, sold for $9.99 with free shipping. This was Delo's sale also. He is on it recently, guys. He actually replaced the headlights in his Mustang. They were cloudy, and he said, "Mom, do you think anyone would buy these because they're damaged?" And I said, "Son, those aren't just damaged headlights. Those are OEM headlights," because the ones he replaced were aftermarket. So OEM in the auto world means original equipment manufacturer. I think that translates to a few other industries, maybe computer parts and things, but that means these aren't just any headlights. These are the headlights that Ford Motor Company manufactured and put out for that Mustang. There is a call, a huge call, for even damaged OEM car parts. He listed them at $35 plus $30 shipping. I feel the need to tell you guys, the new ones that he bought were $99 with free shipping. He settled at $30 plus $30 shipping, I believe, on these. So $60 for his old headlights. I think after shipping and fees and everything, he still netted $35 and change on these. So a little bit of his money back from buying the new headlights. I sold something golf. Yeah, me. My thrift stores never have golf stuff, especially not clubs, but I found these shoes and I thought they would fit my son, got them home and realized they were women's. So I sold these FootJoy women's low pro golf shoes, size 10 medium, white brown, two-tone, for $19.90 plus $8.50 shipping. This is a fun little sale. I actually found this miniature, I don't know if it's a salesman sample or what. This miniature hat with 2 hat boxes was in an auction box lot that I probably paid maybe $6 for the entire box. Guys, I took a best offer and sold these for $35 plus $7.50 shipping, and the buyer is in England. They paid international shipping as well. This next one was also a viewer sale. Amy C saw this horseman doll, and she was inspired when I said that I was going to repurpose and paint the porcelain dolls for Halloween, and she wants to do that with this one. She said her eyes were super creepy, so she bought this horseman vintage doll from 1976 for $10. Thank you, Amy, for supporting not only the channel, but my eBay as well. This is another sale for my 17-year-old son. Anyone can succeed on eBay. He's learning this process just like anyone else. These Jaguar license plates, he got an offer on them, countered back and forth, and they settled at $15 plus $4 shipping for these. Those also came in the same lot from the bins. I love to sell cassette tapes. I have sold some cassette tapes for over $100. My most expensive one ever, I was close to $300 if I'm not mistaken, and it was original Wu-Tang Clan, like before they were Wu-Tang. Whoever that was, I picked it up for 25 cents and sold that thing for close to $300. But this one is no doubt. I loved the artwork on this. My husband actually picked this one up, said you should look and see if this one is selling, and it does sell, and it did sell for $9.99 plus $4.75 shipping. The next time you're at an estate sale, you have to check out the bathrooms, the linen closets, the towels, if you can find vintage towels. I love mid-century sculpted. Sculpted is the keyword for those raised details on the towels. This one was a little bit different though. It was a vintage beach towel from Virginia Beach, Virginia. I had it listed for $27.99 with $5 shipping, but I did take a best offer of $19. When you're at those estate sales, please check the linen closets, look at the towels. You may be leaving a lot of money on the table. I will and often do sell Bibles in my store. This was a beautiful vintage family Bible. It sold for $19.99 plus $9.92 shipping. My keywords here: vintage Holy Bible, family record, library reference edition, HC for hardcover, crusade. I found these really cool ski bibs. I wasn't even sure exactly what they were, but I saw this tag and I was like, well, that's clearly vintage. Just the font, the feel of the tag, some ways that you can date vintage clothing, even if you're not familiar with the brand. I paid $4 for these, got home and realized that they were really worth something. Took pictures immediately, listed them for $49.98. Inside of the first week they were listed, they sold for $39.99 on a best offer plus $8.50 shipping. Another fun sale. I had never heard of World Peacekeepers before. I found two of these place sets. One of them I still have listed. This is like more of a realistic type of G.I. Joe. This guy is in, I guess, like his barracks. He's on a bunk bed. He has all of his military and army accessories. It's the World Peacekeepers Military Life Bed Locker 12-inch action figures. $49.99, guys, plus $10 shipping. This was new in the box, but it is new vintage. JCPenney carried these at one point, as did, I believe, Kmart. That's gonna just about wrap it up today, guys. The next video I'm working on for you is that Lego video. We're gonna be talking about all the ways that you can make money selling Lego, how to identify Lego, how to identify minifigs, how to age and date Lego. So again, be sure you're subscribed. You do not want to miss that one. Thank you so much for watching today's video. God bless, and remember, treat your business like your business.